There are so many condos for sale in Florida right now, and nobody's buying them. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why these condos are sitting on the market right now and why I absolutely would not buy in Florida. I'm also gonna tell you why, if you're a real estate investor, you need to be paying close attention to this condo problem. More on that in a minute.
Longtime South Florida real estate broker Craig Studnicki says his firm's recent analysis of active listings in Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade counties shows a surge in the number of condos up for sale from about 8,300 in the second quarter of last year to over 20,000 a year later. Nearly 90% of those listings are in buildings that are over 30 years old.
That's important. 90% of the condos that are not selling are in buildings 30 years or older. The first reason for this is because these buildings are getting hit with special assessments for building structural integrity. Check it out.
Howard Konitz never thought he'd be in this situation at 79 years old.
We can't afford it. We can't afford it. We're going to go broke.
Konitz and his wife Sheila have lived in their 2-bedroom, 2-bath Williams Island condo for 10 years. The retired couple had their financial future all planned out.
You got to remember, this guy's 79 years old. So it's not like he's going to jump back out into the job market and just start hustling and making some extra money. He moved here with the intent, this is where he was going to retire. This is how much money he has set aside every year that he can spend on this condo and the cost of living. And now check out what happens.
That was until they were recently hit with a special assessment.
The total assessment for the apartment we're sitting in is what?
Approximately $224,000.
$224,000 is the assessment only. That's more than some people's homes, and that's what he's required to pay. This is insane.
When you say that number, can you believe it?
No, not at all.
That's on top of their monthly maintenance that's gone from $1,500 to $3,000.
Now, the monthly maintenance, there's really nothing you can do about that because of inflation. So we own apartment buildings, and we've seen the cost of materials and labor go through the roof. So that $3,000 maintenance is probably on track.
According to Condo Doc's assessments in Mediterranean Village in Williams Island, where Konitz lives, are as high as $400,000 for just one apartment. Projects budgeted for his building include everything from consultants to roofing, concrete restoration, elevator modernization, termite treatment, and $700,000 alone for landscaping.
If I'm the condo association, I think I might take a pause on that $700,000 landscaping bill.
Somebody also told me, well, if you're not able to pay, you shouldn't be living here.
Okay, anybody that tells a gentleman that's 79 years old, if you're not able to pay, you shouldn't be living here, is just crazy. This is a guy that probably did really well in life and had everything planned out. Moved into a beautiful place, and all of a sudden, he's going through these assessments.
The assessments at Williams Island can't be passed on to a potential buyer. Konitz has had his condo on the market and has dropped the price several times. He was turned down for a reverse mortgage by a lender due to strict condo rules.
Maybe I can give it away for pennies on the dollar.
He is not alone. This listing at the Cricket Club in North Miami discloses a $134,000 assessment. A new Florida law enacted after the 2021 collapse of the Champlain Towers in Surfside mandates increased building inspections and reserve funding for condo buildings.
So the Surfside condo tragedy in 2021 is why all these special assessments are really getting kicked into high gear. That catastrophe killed 98 people, and it turns out that building might not have been built up to code. So these assessments that are paying companies to come in and do an analysis of the structural integrity of the condo building, meaning will it fall down or will it stay up, are really necessary. The company will say, hey, this concrete needs to be reinforced. We need to redo this beam. Things like that. They'll give them a total price of $300,000, and then they will assess it accordingly to each condo owner.
The rules come with a hefty price tag for owners of older buildings.
Have you ever seen numbers like this?
No.
Susie Friedel has been a realtor for 50 years. She's a mediator for the Miami Board of Realtors and the Florida Supreme Court.
Susie's been a realtor for 50 years. That means she's got to be in her 70s. She looks fantastic. That's one thing I love about Florida. You get a lot of healthy looking people. Good for her. Let me show you what a typical real estate agent in their 70s looks like today.
What is the assessment on the apartment that you have for sale?
Just about $290,000. There needs to be assessments. The problem is they've done too much at one time. The boards have gotten so nervous about all this that now they're doing everything at once.
There is no comment on camera from the association. In a brief phone conversation, association president Mike Siegel said, quote, "We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have to. It's not like we're stealing people's money."
You know, the board does what they want.
The position you're in, what do you do?
Pray.
I do agree with Susie that I think they're putting too many things into this special assessment. I would focus on safety and life repairs first. I'd leave out that $700,000 landscaping bill. Now, all condos 30 years or older and 3 stories or higher need to be inspected by December 31st, or they're gonna run the risk of being fined. That's why these condos are scrambling, because there's a lot that haven't done it yet. Now, I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, and let me show you how bad the condo associations here are doing.
The city of St. Petersburg has 225 condo buildings that need to meet state requirements for milestone inspections in the next 5 months. So far, only 68 have gotten it done.
So in St. Pete, only 68 of the 225 condo buildings have been completed. Keep in mind, again, they only have until December 31st or they're gonna face a fine. Now, Governor Ron DeSantis has said he's open to talking to legislators about how to prevent these condos from getting assessed these fees if they don't hit that December 31st deadline. In my opinion, I think the solution would be to get these inspections on the books for all of these condos. So if you have an inspection scheduled for next May 2025, you're good. I think that would circumvent another fee being assessed on these condo owners, and it would give the associations a little bit of room to breathe. So here's my question to you. Should the state step in and bail out these homeowners with those special assessments of the condos? Keep in mind, anytime the state bails somebody out, that's your taxpayer dollars. Or are these people's homes an investment and need to be treated like that, and they're on their own? This is a really tough question, and I don't know the answer. Let me know what you think. Now, the second reason these condos aren't selling in Florida is because of the HOA fees. Like I said a minute ago, the cost of materials and labor has gone through the roof. So the association has to keep up, and they have to keep raising prices. Now, more than likely, these fees will never come down. They're only gonna go up over time. Now, on the real estate investing side, this is why investing in real estate has become unsexy, because it's so much harder to make the numbers work and turn a profit. Now, the third reason these condos aren't selling is because a lot of people bought these as vacation rentals, and for the previous 2 reasons and vacancies, these things just aren't putting out the cash flow they thought they would. So people are selling to try to get out of them. The other thing these vacation rental landlords didn't realize is this is a job. You don't just buy the condo and forget about it. You got to do the bookings, schedule cleanings, schedule maintenance, and handle any of your guests' problems 24/7. Now, when we went through that debacle back in 2020 that I can't even name on this video, just about all the other states in the union shut down except Florida. That's when Florida started getting all this influx of vacationers and people started to move here. So a lot of people thought, hey, I'll buy a condo, turn it into a vacation rental, and I'll make money hand over fist. So in this chart here, you can see that the vacancies of vacation rentals was about 133,000 active listings in January of 2021. And in September of 2023, you have 245,000 vacancies. You can see this trend is on the rise and continuing today. A lot of these real estate investors that bought these condos are rookies trying to make moves that never really ran the numbers correctly. A lot of people bought the property too high at too high of an interest rate, and it never would have made money from day one. Not to mention, The increase in HOA fees, the special assessments, and these cost increases have just buried them. So for owners, there's really two options. You could sell now, but that could be just a race to the bottom. Or you could hang on, hope for the best, because like we saw in 2008, real estate does come back. I'd evaluate it this way. Which option is going to give you the least amount of pain, and how long do you really want to own this condo? Now for investors, which is what I am, I'd be asking myself, how can I make a killing on this? Because let's face it, one man's pain is another man's profit. And I don't make the rules, so don't hate the messenger. And like I said, it's a race to the bottom at this point, but there's two things that would have to happen before I jumped into buying condos in Florida. Number one, these special assessments need to be priced in to the sales price of the condo. So basically, I could be buying the condo at a discount. And number two, the homeowner's insurance problem needs to get figured out down here in Florida. I can't buy a rental property and pay the same amount in homeowner's insurance as I do in property taxes and still expect to turn a profit. Remember, real estate investing is a business and you need to make money. Just like a McDonald's. You don't see them giving away free hamburgers. They gotta make money too. Now, by the time the assessment and the insurance got figured out, an added bonus would be lower inflation because the cost of materials and labor kills a deal. Keep in mind, in St. Pete, a handyman makes about $65 an hour. That's $135,200 a year. That is not bad for no college education and no licensing required. And that's a handyman on the less expensive side. Some charge $80 an hour. Thanks for watching this video and let me know what you think.